Hi. So I'm making this video in the middle of my mess. I don't have a great camera setup. This guy, I have no idea what he's doing, but the point is, sometimes our polished, perfected messages, and the abundance of those, the saturation of like highly polished, edited videos with like a great on the other side of the problem message are leaving a huge gap, are leaving a huge lack of substance in our world, in the healing space. So take 2 of this recording, and I'm not going to even edit out my frustration with the last one, because this is part of the whole thing. When all we see from other human beings is the, like, perfectly positioned, the beautifully represented, the light side of everything, it's doing such a disservice to our human selves, because then every time we see in ourself a struggle, a lack, a less than harmonized, a less than made up beautifully and ready to go, camera ready, like ego's best face forward, it makes us feel like shame or something's wrong with us or embarrassment or this need to do more work on ourselves so we can also represent more beautifully. And I'm so grateful for recently multiple things like that are all woven together. This is Weaving the Magick. That have humbled me to remind me that my human side is not something to be transcended or gotten rid of, or I'll be dead. I am so human that my hands, knees, wrists, knuckles, everything in my entire body is swollen right now. Like, all of my joints are swollen from this, I think, parvovirus B19, because my son has the child characteristics of it, and so does my daughter, and there's nothing that can be done except it just goes away on its own. And the symptoms of this for adults are like this joint swelling that can last weeks. And this joint swelling is like much better today than it was yesterday, but it's like almost debilitating. Sincerely, yesterday I was brought to my knees, and I was also brought to the story of InAnna, Ishtar, and her travels through the gates of initiation into no-selfness, getting rid of the ego that says I have to show up with all of this bedazzlement and armor. I have to show up to show these other people my authority, basically, and my divine right and my royal, regal nature. And the truth is that none of those things are manifest on the outside of us. Like, it's that adage of, you know, you can't take it to the grave with you. I mean, you can, and for many, like, cultures, years, societies, like, people's graves, tombstones, funeral places would be filled with things, but centuries later we dig those things up and the physical things are still there in the grave, even though the being is not. Because nothing transfers from this world physically into another realm. So it's not about physically how I present, what I look like, what my scenario, what my setting is, or even on the outside, what it looks like in my journey. And at this point in my journey, just like with InAnna Ishtar, that becoming vulnerable, the ripping away of many layers, the breastplate being taken, the vulnerability being taken, the ability to know who I am has been unraveling in my life, because I'm a being of productivity, or so my ego said, or so my trauma said, or so the first half of my life said. My worth is equal to my output, my production, what I provide for other people, what I can accomplish, what I can achieve. And all of those things are outside of me. All of those things require my constant energetic output, and that's not who I am, that's not what I'm built for, but that's what I was trying to sustain. And the universe has been giving me messages to slow down, to honor myself, to appreciate who I truly am. And life is so busy, and I have ADHD, and so many things conspire for me to not take the time to sit and be with the pain of my swollen joints, with my desires, and how my desires sometimes rob me of the present moment. My frustrations, to take a look at what are my frustrations showing me, what I'm afraid of, which is not being enough, because if I can't do enough. So I get frustrated when my son wanted to play and I couldn't make the video, and in part, I'd love to just be able to have flow state in my life. So it does become very frustrating when I have a desire as a human being, and I want to move with that desire and toward that desire, and then there's things in my way. But that doesn't mean there's something wrong with what's causing the frustration, or with me, because I am frustrated, or because I have a desire. It's an experience I'm being given to see how I, as the human I am, move through those feelings of frustration, of not getting what I want, of disappointment, of not being able to either express or be or feel as I want to or as I think I want to, and moving through the process of accepting that, of accepting this joint pain, of accepting that there are a lot of things that I can do by myself, for myself, within myself. And then I need help. I need divine intervention to give me a shift in perspective, to feel differently about a situation instead of trying to change a situation. And I've been doing a lot of readings lately. And sometimes when I go periods of I'm not interacting with other adults on this spiritual, social level because my role of mother is so big in my life that I am not energetically experiencing other adults or people outside of myself. I forget how hard it is for everyone to be a human, especially because when I go on to any kind of social media, it's either people showing like the best and the happiest or the cheeriest of the things, or people trying to step into that like wisdom teacher role or provide some service. Like basically everyone in almost every capacity is always putting their best face forward. And it does us an extreme disservice as humanity to only ever see that from other people, because it makes us feel wrong or bad or not evolved enough, not enlightened enough, not wise enough, like we have nothing to share. And thank you for coming and showing yourself to me. Thank you for helping me understand especially in the story of InAnna, when her breastplate is ripped from her. It's like the strength card in tarot, where you think that the idea of strength is the opposite of vulnerable, where it's like nothing can get to me, nothing can hurt me, nothing can derail me or harm me. But we get me confused with the ego, confused with the soul. Lots of things hurt my ego. Lots of things hurt my ego. And that's kind of a great thing. Kind of a really great thing, because my ego is not in tune with what's real. My ego is absolutely in tune with what's perceived, with what's already been experienced, with what's already been built up in my brain as a concept or a fear or a whatever. My ego is not really open to the new. And I want to say I am open-minded and I'm open to new things, but like my soul is. And I function that through my ego because I've practiced enough becoming aware of myself in judgment. And this is where all of this stemmed from within the last few weeks. Me recognizing that I'm so afraid of other people's judgment. Because, like, if I don't feel like I've put my best face forward in something, or that I can in that moment, or that I can make this perfect thing, I don't put it out there. I don't put it out there. And I've gotten better, and I've ebbed and flowed with, like, my confidence levels there. But I had done this, like, massive retreat inward recently. And then I started feeling like I'm not as well put together as all these other people that are sharing similar information and experience. And I'm in these grateful, graceful few days of pain and suffering, recognizing that this is it. There's so much pain and suffering in this world. And I don't mean to just share that and splash it around. I just mean to say that it's necessary to be witnessed. Like, in this current new agey goddess culture, it's all about the, like, belly chains and jewelry and, you know, worshiping all the soft and the beautiful and the sensual and the sexual and all the lovely. And that's wonderful. That's been robbed of the feminine, and I don't mean just female presenting, I mean the feminine energetics in all of us for a long time. But so too has the feminine's ability to descend. Sophia, InAnna, countless others that I'm unaware of. The descent into the darkness, the sitting with and the feeling with, the red tent energy of, like, I'm on empty right now. I have nothing to give to anyone else. And all I desire to give is my presence to myself. And that is valuable. That is valuable. My ability to witness my own suffering, my own descent, my own laying on the ground dead for days, hanging on a hook dead for days, feeling the generational impacts of all the centuries of women that were oppressed, raped, subdued, shoved into submission in all of the various ways. And again, not just women, the feminine energetic, but also definitely massively targeted at women. I feel it in these joints. I feel it in my wrists that have had to flex too much to carry out other people's will and wishes for generations and generations. It's not just my pain. I feel all of their pain. I feel all of our pain. refusing to not be felt. There's no medication or cure. And then I think of all the women right now on this earth that are suffering with like rheumatoid arthritis. And they're only in their 30s like me. And for the rest of their lives possibly, they're going to be suffering. And I think, would it be different if we knew about InAnna? If those women understood the woven threads between this greatest ancient mother goddess in all of our recorded history, who was praised in songs sung to her and simultaneously had the self-appointed name of Whore of Babylon, who knew all of her lust, desire, humanity, her descent, her vulnerability, her weakness, all of it was divine, holy, valuable, who also was lost, who also had to seek, who also had to be found, who also had to be resurrected, who also depended on the love and compassion of others, something outside of herself, to help her become resurrected and transformed. Interdependence, independence, all of these things. She is everything. And so are we. And I can't help but think, what if we knew? What if more women knew that their suffering was linked? And that instead of feeling like there's an issue because you're doing something wrong, or you're feeling pain because you deserve it, or that you should suffer in silence and suck it up, and that martyrdom is great, and all these other massively incorrect but conveniently beneficial to those that wish to remain the same. What if we knew that that was an incorrect filter? And what if we knew that if instead of fighting the pain or trying to make it go away, resenting it, numbing it, what if we embraced it and shared it? What if we embraced it and we linked it in and wove it in with stories? The very important human divine archetype stories that remind us that this is okay too. It's okay to not have your best face forward. It's okay to desire and to experience frustration. It's okay to have limits to how much we're capable of doing, giving. And if the whole world is going to burn down, because I couldn't move for a few days, and so be it. So I wanted to make this message to say, seek out the story where you're not deficient, where you're not alone. Look for the truth. Look for the not picture perfect polished. And celebrate that within yourself and within other people. Because I've experienced so many moments recently with others where all a lot of us really need is to be witnessed in our not okay, in our hurt and our sad and our longing and our disappointment. And to know we're not the only ones that have ever been there. to know that there's a massive potential for transformation that lives exclusively in the moments that we feel our worst, that we feel the most despair and the most hopeless and the most desperate. Because there's something about that moment of desperation where when you reach out, you drop the expectation of what your idea of resolution is, and you become willing to accept whatever help comes your way. And that's literally the same thing as saying you're open to miracles. And I think most of my problem throughout all of my life is that I don't think they're coming for me. And so I discount them as a possibility, which is maybe why life has been trying to present me with these so many graceful moments of desperation. Of needing to hope for a miracle. And I've gotten so many. And they aren't always the ones that I asked for. But they are the ones that I needed. And it served me best. So I just needed to share. I needed to. My body is telling me that I'm full up. I'm giving and flexing and bending. Boop. Yep. Boop. We love you. Boop. You want the other one? Okay, hold on. The biggest. There you go. So, we're multifaceted beings. And these are my, the facets where there's, some cloudiness. Because I'm not really a diamond. I'm really a human. And I'm really squishy. And I'm really diverse. And I'm really so many more things than I can summarize in a brand. Or put on a beautiful title. Or sum up in a nice description box that's SEO optimized and all that jazz. And I really want to be seen and witnessed, both for my ego self and also because I see this deficit in the world where I have begun to hate the word authentic because so many people use it when it's not truly being represented. Authentic isn't just the best face forward. And yes, it does include that. Authentic doesn't have to mean, in my messy playroom with my kid breastfeeding on me and I'm not wearing makeup and I'm, crying with snot all over the place. It doesn't have to mean that. It means not excluding any of it. It means allowing myself to do the wobble dance of I'm okay today, I don't feel okay right now. I know I'll feel okay again, and when I do, sometimes I'm riding waves. I'm riding waves. I'm swirling like a Sufi in love with this life. Because these swollen knuckles are my lover telling me, honey, you're not listening. Sit down. And these stories of InAnna that come to me are all of my beloved her saying, "You are me. I've lived this. Let me comfort you with a story. Let me weave the magic between what appears to be mundane and magical." Tell my story. The great human divine. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope that it brought whatever you needed to feel from this today. You know, whatever your physical ailment is, there's a spiritual correlation, and there's a story that's specific to you, and that's grander. And I don't mean better, I mean more widely woven across the space and time of humanity than you could fathom. And mythology is the key. I might start doing a series on mythology things and not expect myself to be a Rhodes Scholar about it, but how I identify mythologically these different archetypes and how they show up to help us, guide us in our human journey. Because that's the kind of stuff I love. This is the kind of thing that I love. And I deserve to do what I love and share it with the world, just like everyone else does. Right? You too? Yeah. I love you. I love you. Thanks for watching. I'd love to hear your comments. Really, I would love to hear your experiences. I would love to witness and hold space for your moments of this journey. And also, you know, if there's any archetypes or stories or myths, I can't hold the phone like that. So right there, send me the comments, but I'm being told to do the mythologies that speak to me instead of anyone else. So, thank you. Take care.